Yo, 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 YouTube. Good morning. It's about 4:30 a.m. here, and just getting my day started. And I thought I'd show you what I found in my big vintage lot that I bought for $3.25 the other day. I'll put some photos on the screen from the listing here. And it was a lot more cards than I thought it would be. It was two giant Nike shoe boxes full of cards. You can kind of see them in the pictures there. Um, but really, that only shows one box in the photo. There's another box kind of off to the side of it, if you can see that. But there was a ton of cards. I'm gonna flip over here and show you what I got. Okay, so here's the box of commons, if you want to call it that. It's almost all vintage stuff, so a lot of 75, 77, 79 football. There's some random baseball in here. Stuff like that, but mostly vintage football. So I was kind of excited about that because I think I'm going to just make this a quarter box. And I don't have much vintage ever in my quarter boxes, so that was part of the motivation of buying a lot that would potentially have a bunch of commons in it. But I mean, this is like, I don't know, 1,500 cards maybe? So it was a lot more than I thought it would be for $3.25. Now over here, I have the 3 stacks of cards that are cards I'm gonna list and sell. So you can see it, the commons was just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of really good stuff in here that I can actually do something with. So I'm gonna get this on the stand and we'll take a look at some of the better cards here. Some baseball, mostly vintage football, of course, and then a bunch of the Fleer team action cards. This was kind of the main reason I bought the lot. I didn't really know what was in it, but in the photo there was quite a few of these Fleer action photo cards showing, and I always do really well with those, and you can see I got a ton of them, so we'll go through those a little bit as well. Alright, so let the fun begin. This is everything that I feel like I could list independently in the store and make some money on. We'll start with this little stack out front here. Let me get these out of the way. I need a little bit of space to... My work area is getting a little jammed up right now. Okay, so pull this down just a tad. Right, this first one here is this Diamond Kings Mike Mussina out of 2004 Donruss. Diamond King stuff has always sold really well for me. There's a George Blanda 75 record breaker kicker. He was also the quarterback at the time. This Super Bowl 10 card. You got Terry Bradshaw there running around with the ball. Of course, the Steelers won that game. There's a record breaker Earl Campbell, 1978. A 90 score Deion Sanders. Pretty low end base, but that's Deion stuff does sell really well. So 2003 Topps Michael Vick. There's a lot of Ahmad Rashad in here, which I'm happy about. I've sold quite a bit of his stuff. This is a 76, I think. Yeah, 1976. Unfortunately, this one has a crease in it. Now, one of my tips for listing low-end cards. A lot of people won't list a card that has some significant issues, like a big crease across the middle. But I found that there's opportunity in that. Obviously, you can't ask, mint price for a card with a crease and it's off-centered and corners are soft and all that good stuff. There are people that are just looking for the cards. They don't want to spend $10 on a card like this. So if you can ask $2 for it with the damage, still pretty good profit in it for me there. I mean, I paid less than a penny per card for this lot, so there's still there's good value in that. in a sale still for me, and it does give a buyer an opportunity who's just looking to own the card, doesn't need necessarily a mint copy. It's a 91 Donruss Robin Yount in the Hall of Fame. It's a StarQuest Mark McGwire insert. Just the single, it's the low end one, but still a Mark McGwire insert. Here's a 04 Alex Rodriguez. It's a little bit later in his career. This is a good one. AFC Championship game. Raiders beat the Steelers. I found a lot of these types of cards in here. A lot of people didn't collect like team cards and game cards and stuff like that back in the day, but now those have become good sellers. They feature a lot of good players on it. A lot of people remember, hey, I want a card of the year that team won that Super Bowl or whatever. So whatever the reason may be. But you know, this one of course has the quarterback on it. I think that's Ken Stabler, but I'd have to look to make sure. But that'll definitely sell. Here's another Diamond Kings Sandy Alomar. An insert, of course, but Diamond Kings just do well. I don't know if Sandy Alomar will get me anywhere, but price it low enough, it'll go. Pedro Martinez, base upper deck, very dominant pitcher. This is a good one. And Archie Manning out of 78. 1978 tops. It's in pretty good condition. It's off-centered, but corners are decent, no creasing. There's a Jack Ham, 1979 tops. All Pro with the Steelers. This one's a little bit rough. For being a more modern card, it does have a little bit of a crease in it. But it's got Bo Jackson and Kirby Puckett on it. From 1990 Fleer. Swingman, Tony Gwynn. Pinnacle. It's a very young Dan Marino Pro Line portrait. Him spinning the ball on his finger. Cool card there. This one I set aside not because this is any kind of a good player, but this thing is like ultra mint. Like out of a pack mint. It's really well centered. It's a little off top to bottom, I guess, but it's just in phenomenal shape. I know he's a kicker, but look at the centering on the back too. So I'll probably list this just because older cards just being in mint, it doesn't matter who the player is. And that's one of the other reasons I like random vintage lots. That wouldn't have been a card I would buy, of course, on my own, but it came in all this stuff and it's super mint. Here's a Marino Aurora. I have to look this one up, but Courtney Brown, I'm thinking he was really good and doesn't have very many cards. So I threw it aside. It's a decent one. Top's gold. Joe Montana. A Doug Peterson retro card. I pulled this out just because he's a big name coach these days. Sometimes that'll get some sales. Randall Cunningham playoff. Randall Cunningham 94 tops. Wait, 93 tops. Yeah. 93 tops. It's a Derek Thomas. Aurora. Here's another card featuring a Super Bowl. It's the Super Bowl 14, I believe. Steelers beat the Rams. So no big name offensive quarterbacks in the picture or anything, but still card celebrating that Super Bowl. It's a passing leaders card with Fran Tarkenton and Ken Anderson. Both those guys sell pretty well. He's a Walter Payton record breaker, 1978. So this would be 79. Really cool looking picture there of him turning a corner. A receiving leaders card with Drew Pearson. Drew Pearson stuff sells really well. From 77 tops. Here's a Jack Lambert All Pro. From, I think this is later, 79. Another Super Bowl card. Steelers over the Cowboys. 1979. I think that's Franco Harris. Not very good at yeah, I think that's Franco. Yeah, that's Franco Harris, 32. So, nice Super Bowl card featuring some nice action from Franco Harris on there. I think this was the Super Bowl with the catch off the shoestrings by the Steelers there. It's another Super Bowl one. I think that's Tony Dorsett. Cowboys over the Broncos. Let's see who's rushing. Yeah, Tony Dorsett. It's a nice card featuring him right on the front. Another passing leaders one. James Harris, not so much, but Ken Stabler. Very prominent. Long hair out of the helmet. Pro action cards do really well. This is Don Horn. He was a quarterback for the Broncos. This is 75, I want to say. 74, maybe. There's another pro action. This one's great. John Riggins for the Eagles. Jets. 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 John Riggins stuff sells. There's a John Elway out of Invincible. And this is an insert. This is the Smash Mouth insert. That should do pretty well. Here's the Invincible base John Elway card. So it's actually the same picture of him on both of those. This is Edge Odyssey. This is the second quarter, so it's foil card. A little bit tougher levels of card to pull. Here's a Terrell Davis Successors insert. I really like this one. John Elway starting lineup. So this was the card that would have came with a figure. And it's a nice photo there. I like that. Alright, I've got a few 79 record breakers here. Harold Carmichael sold quite a few of his cards. These are in pretty decent shape too. Dan Fouts, the Chargers, quarterback with the Chargers. Here's another Ahmad Rashad card, Liddell Mitchell and Ahmad Rashad. For these just being thrown in a shoebox, I was kind of impressed with the condition of them. Most of them are in pretty good shape. This one's well centered, off a bit top to bottom, but nice looking card otherwise. This one I just grabbed because I was a huge Hideki Matsui fan when he was around. So this is like a Matsui set. He was 2003 Rookie of the Year, I believe. So this must be 2000. Oh, this is 2003. Rookie Chronicles. Huh, interesting. Maybe this is considered a rookie card then? I don't know. I just thought it was cool, so I set it out. Cooler than 10 cents anyway. Total Production Tops, Ivan Rodriguez. It's another one of those championship type cards. This one not in as great a shape, but again, I'll just charge a little less and I'll find a buyer for it. This is Cowboys over the Rams. You got Roger Staubach right there, featured on the card. There's another Super Bowl one, Dolphins over the Redskins. This is from 77. I think this was the undefeated season, if I remember correctly. The only undefeated season in history by the Dolphins. This is the 78 championship game. Cowboys destroyed the Rams 28-0. It's crazy. You can see the teams lining up there. You got Staubach right there over center. That's a really cool card. There's a NFC Championship game, Cowboys over Vikings. You got Staubach again. Staubach stuff sells extremely well. I was excited to see a lot of Staubach stuff in here. Record breaker, Fran Tarkenton. Most yards, passing in a lifetime. Accomplishment there. A couple of cool baseball cards. A couple things came top loaded too, which is nice. I use the top loads for shipping, so a little added value there. This is a 1976. It's just celebrating Walter Johnson's accomplishments as a pitcher in the 20s. Pretty cool. There's a 78 Larry Zonka. This stuff sells pretty well too. His card's in nice shape. Another Jack Ham, All-Pro for the Steelers. There's a little stack of Sports Illustrated for Kids cards in here. And probably my best card came out of these, ironically enough, with all the vintage. But I got a Jim Thome here. A Hideo Nomo. I don't think any of these are rookies. I haven't looked at these individually yet, so maybe there's some other gems in here. Rob Nen. Pretty cool. Ken Griffey Jr. You guys know my affinity for Sports Illustrated for Kids, so this was kind of fun to have. Marvin Harrison. But here's the big winner. It's in really good shape. And it does have a little bit of a dent in the middle now that I see it. This is a second year Tom Brady Sports Illustrated for Kids. So this is 2002. So young there. 2002 Sports Illustrated for Kids. These go upwards of $50. So, I mean, even with the crease, if I can get, or dent there, if I can get 25 for it, that's heck of a return on my $3 card buy here. LaDainian Tomlinson, that might be his first one too. 2002, I don't know. I'll have to check. Brian Mitchell, this one's miscut really bad. Maybe I'll go and try to tear off the perforations, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to spend that kind of time in it. But an Emmett, all Emmett cards sell really well. It's kind of a nice little gem stack of these in the mix here. Ben Wallace. There's a Kazuhiro Sasaki. Again, not cut very well. And Antoine Walker. Art Shell stuff sells pretty well, and this one's a minty mint. Really nice. It has maybe a little touch of a fuzz on the corner there, but otherwise in really nice shape. This is a 70, oh, an 81, so it's a little bit later. While Zato stuff sells well. This one's really cool. I've bought this card and sold it a few times. This is Football Brother, featuring brothers. So this is Eddie Payton and Walter Payton. Really nice card in nice shape there. This one's a little bit rougher, which is kind of interesting since it's in a sleeve, but this is a 79 Chuck Foreman. I've sold a whole bunch of these out of this year's, or 77, excuse me. Sold a ton of cards of his 77 tops, so got quite a dog ear going there. I'll have to try to get it out of the sleeve and make that make sense a little bit more, but all right, we're about 2% into the stack here. So as far as $3.25 value, we killed it. Here's Steve Largent, 77. Just the first checklist. It's the 77 Seahawks. Unfortunately, instead of checking the boxes, I checked the whole name out. But if you watch any of my videos, I talk a lot about checklists. They're a great play. And there's a ton of checklists in here. And most of them don't look like this. So I was excited about that as well. A couple of these Steve Largents. These are from 78. He's in the Hall of Fame, of course, wide receiver for the Seahawks. And another one of those Art Shell. A little bit later Art Shell. Couple of these. This is 81. Steve Largent. Nice photo of him there. These are in really nice shape. Got two of those. Ted Hendricks. I've sold quite a few of him. He was a linebacker for the Raiders. Ken Anderson, all-pro quarterback for many years. Some more Kenny Anderson. This one's roached a little bit, but This is a good one. This is the 79 Bears team leaders, and of course you've got Walter Payton there. The Steelers 76, I think. 70, yeah. So you've got Franco Harris, Jim Smith, Steve Furness, Mel Blount. Really nice card featuring a lot of their star players. Again, cards that a lot of people didn't collect back in the day. It was very player focused. But now some of these old iconic teams like the 70s Steeler teams, people want team cards. They're not as attached to the player as they are maybe the team, and they just want something celebrating those teams' best years. Here's a Packers team card. It's got James Lofton on it. Here's another one of those celebrating all-stars, all-time all-stars. Babe Ruth. I actually bought one of these not that long ago in a lot. Just wanted a Babe Ruth card, and actually issued Babe Ruth card. Not a reprinty kind of thing. So this is from 76 Topps. So very cool. You can never go wrong with any Babe Ruth card. A few more. Sports Illustrated for Kids. Jerome Inglia and Iginla. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. Iginla. Here's a cool rodeo one. Adriano Moraes. There's this Barry Bonds Fleer insert. Not in very good shape. Again, which is ironic since it's in a top loader. It's got Bonds on the one side, and it's got Joe Carter on the other. So I'll use the top loader for shipping, and I'm sure I can get a buck or two on that card. Here's an Allen Iverson, again miscut unfortunately. So it'll be sold at a discount. Here's a Andrei Kirilenko. So this is kind of a strange looking card. This is 2005 maybe. But yeah, look at how lanky that guy is. Crazy. Like all skinny arm there. Okay, back to some vintage football. We've got a Fred Dean tackling there in action. Fred Dean stuff has sold pretty well. Here's a Pat Hayden, Rams quarterback. Basically, the players I pulled out are players that I've sold before in vintage cards, and then just obvious big names, you know. But I've sold some Pat Hayden before, so I'll pull that out. Fred Dryer, same thing. Jim Youngblood, the Hall of Famer, All-Pro. Mel Gray, sold a few of his cards. Got a couple of 79s there. 79 Topps is one of my biggest vintage football selling sets, if that makes sense. Here's an Art Monk. This is not a rookie. It's a couple years, and I thought maybe it was a rookie when I first pulled it out. It's in really nice shape. Off top to bottom, of course, on centering, but here's another 79 Mel Gray. 79 Lynn Dickey for the Packers. Again, sleeved, and it's not in very good shape, so I don't understand what's happening with those cards. There's an Ahmad Rashad that is sleeved that is actually in pretty decent shape. It's off-centered, but again, Ahmad Rashad stuff does pretty well. I actually literally bought a lot of Ahmad Rashad cards, so, and I got a bunch of them in here, as you'll see going through it. Here's another team one for the Vikings, and you got Ahmad Rashad on there. And that one, these I was excited about. I got a couple of Roger Staubachs from 78, so later in his career, but nice looking photos. Cards are in decent shape. No creases or anything like that, definitely. We'll be able to sell those easily. Some Ron Jaworski. Not a huge seller, but again, pretty much any sale is pure profit on these, which is nice, per card anyway. Tony Dorsett, his stuff is sold really well. Danny White, who's a punter and a quarterback. Here's another checklist. Look at this. Look at how clean this thing is. This is 1980, so I realize it's a little bit later, but it's like immaculate. Nice color, no markings, front and back, and that's a $5 checklist right there. There's another Lindicki. Paul Krause sold really well. He was part of the Purple People Eaters. Dominant Vikings. Their stuff sells extremely well from these years. Ron Yeri, same thing from the Vikings. Another Roger Staubach. This is from 79. Nice there. Another Danny White. Mick Tingeloff sold quite a few of his cards for the Vikings. Decent card here. Alan Page sold a ton of those, especially from this year, this 77 Topps. Yeah, Cowboy Team Leader card. All Cowboy stuff does pretty well. You've got Tony Dorsett on there, Tony Hill, Randy White, all pro defensive players. Another Mick Tingelhoff, another Ron Yeri from 77, another Paul Krause. He had these were kind of sorted by team, as you can see here, as I'm running through like 12 Viking cards in a row. They were kind of sorted by team inside the shoebox. So somebody had spent some time on these at some point. You know, and maybe there was Walter Payton rookie cards or something like that in it at one point. I don't know. But they certainly weren't in the lot now. But here's another Ron Yeri. Dan Fouts. His stuff does well. Quarterback for the Chargers. All-time. All-pro. Another Ted Hendricks. Dave Casper does really well, so that's a lot of Raiders players from that era do well. The Art Shell era. Mel Blount, cornerback with the Steelers. Sold some Ricky Bell, so I pulled a few of those. Excuse me. Here's a Bears team leader. It's got Mr. Peyton there with his awesome headband on. You got Gary Fensick. His stuff sells. Dan Hampton, Alan Page later in his career, but Alan Page stuff sells. So it's got a pretty fair amount of good players on there. Here's another Ahmad Rashad. It's in pretty good shape, this one. Sleeved. This is a lot later. This is 81. But again, Ahmad Rashad stuff does well. This one's great. Steelers team. So you've got Franco Harris there. Mel Blount again. Rocky Blyer, I've sold a few of his. Running back for the Steelers. He was really good. Here's another Steelers team. A little different year though. This is from 79. Franco. Tony Dungy is on there. Elsie Greenwood. And then this sweet in-action Franco Harris Topps card. Really nice shape. So we're about half of stack one we're through. We've got this whole stack and this whole stack yet. So we're slaying over here. All right, some more awesome checklists. This is the Detroit Lions from 76. So what's kind of annoying about this is they didn't mark any of that, and then they just circled player. Come on, I could have had a clean checklist out of this, but anyway. And then here's the Oilers. This one does not have any marks on it. Unmarked checklists. I ask $5 a piece for and sell them all day long. Here's a Dave Casper again. Cliff Branch, another really good seller, wide receiver for the Raiders. John Matuzak, of course, he was an actor as well, so his stuff sells. A couple of those. Here's another Cliff Branch. Sammy White, again from that Purple People Eaters team. Sleeves not in very good shape, but cards in really nice shape though. Sold a lot of Sam White stuff. Don't know why I pulled this one. John Brockington. I mean, he does sell. I've sold some John Brockington stuff. He was a running back for the Packers for a bunch of years. Gary Fensick. Told you earlier, his stuff sells. Mr. Tingelhoff again. Here's a nice Ahmad Rashad. All Pro. Ken Stabler, quarterback with the Raiders. All Pro. Really nice card there. Some more checklists. The Raiders one is marked. This Raiders one is not marked at all. So we basically have a $3 checklist, $2.99, and then a $5 checklist for the unmarked is what I charge. A couple more, or here's one more Cliff Branch. Another Matuzak. Ken Anderson, all-pro quarterback with the Bengals. Got a stack of these going on there. This is definitely not a card I'm going to list. It's Bernard Ford. Don't know who that is. But it's top-loaded. So I will be pulling the card out, throwing it in my dime box. I threw... Obviously, I didn't throw this in the stack because of the card. I threw it in there because of the top load. So I wanted to show where I got all my value out of this lot, and the top loads have value to me. Herm Edwards, famous coach for many years. This is his 1980 Topps card. Dwight Clark, of course, the man with the catch in the back of the end zone. Drew Pearson, went over his stuff earlier, how well he sells. There's another Cowboys team leaders with Tony Dorsett on there. Another Drew Pearson, all pro. Another one. Here's a Cliff Harris. I don't know why I set that aside, but whatever. All pro for the Cowboys, probably do really well. Here's another unmarked checklist for the Lions. Alan Page, 77. This one's pretty cool because not only is it a good seller, but it's got a great miscut. I don't know if I've really talked about this at all in videos, but miscut stuff does really, really well. I literally have a buyer who, I think his eBay name is like Miscut Mister or something like that. And he only buys miscut cards. So that one should be a good one because it's a good player besides Carl Eller. There's another Alan Page with the Bears. Ranieri. So all those Vikings that sell really well. This is 1981 Topps. Or, of course it's Topps. 1981 Packers. So it's got Lofton on there is probably the biggest name. This one I'm excited about. I literally just sold one of these for $5, I think, the other day. And it's exactly as off-centered as this one. So I don't know, maybe that's how they all come. But it's Lawrence Taylor. Good value there. A couple of Riggins. His stuff. I've talked about his stuff earlier. He sells really well. 3 Riggins there. And then the Redskins team card also, of course, features Riggins on it. Jack Youngblood. All-pro defensive end for the Rams. Carl Eller, looking a little aged there. Mel Gray. I've sold a bunch of Mel Gray stuff for the card. He was a wide receiver, played for, I think, the Lions for many years. Well, let's take a look. Well, all the Cardinals with these years. That's 78. I'm pretty sure he played for the Lions when he came out as a rookie. There's a Golden Richards. I've sold a few of these. This one's a little bit of wear to it, but like I said, if I've sold that player before, I pull the card. Here's a Drew Pearson. Another Drew Pearson. Killing it with the Drew Pearsons. Randy White. A couple of those. Let's get some more all-pro Cowboys here. Roger Werley. Hall of Famer. Has sold quite a few of his cards. This one's in really, really nice shape. And then a Harold Carmichael. Sold quite a his cards too. Wide receiver for the Eagles. He's in the Hall of Fame. Can't go wrong with Hall of Fame players. Those are kind of your sure things. There's a lot of this in there too. Crappy old rubber bands, basically. I don't know how else to say it. Alright, so we've got another Mel Blount. There's another Mel Blount. A little bit later. Rocky Bleier. The Steelers. Second year, James Lofton. Now I have to go through some of these too and see if any are rookie cards. I don't have all these years of cards memorized. But I did find some key rookie cards in here that I knew about, which I will definitely share with you as we go. Paul Krause. One of them being this one. I believe this is Vince Papale. That's his rookie card as well. So he's important in the fact that he was the inspiration for a movie called Invincible, which did very well, has a huge fan base. These actually sell pretty well. I was surprised. I sold one a while ago and I was like, who the heck is Vince Papale? And I got like $10 for it. So nice little steal in the stack there. A couple of Frank LeMasters from the Eagles. Sold a few of those. Here's Harold Carmichael again. No, it's definitely not a rookie for him. Here's a Giants checklist. It's marked, but it'll sell. Ron Yeri. This one I like, Ronnie Lott. I think this is actually Ronnie Lott's rookie card. I'm going to check real. Yeah, I was correct. This is his rookie card. I've seen these go as high as $15, $16. So really nice find there. This one's in really good shape. Centering's not too bad. Corners are decent. No creases. It's a really nice find as well. It's a Joe Theismann. Lyle Alzado, again, an actor, so his stuff does pretty well. Ron Jaworski. I was excited to find this. I hardly ever find Bob Greasy stuff. He's got definitely a following. Quarterback for the Dolphins. I think he was the quarterback in their undefeated season. Somebody would have to correct me. I mean, he played for the Dolphins forever. Look at that. So I believe so. So he was the only ever Super Bowl winning quarterback to have an undefeated season. It's something there. Gene Upshaw. Sold a few of his stuff. There's another Cliff Branch. So we're back on some Raiders stuff here. Ted Hendricks. Sammy White. A Vikings card thrown in here. There's another Cliff Branch. Ted Hendricks. Couple of these. Couple more of those. Dave Casper. Hall of Fame tight end. Fred Biletnikoff. Wide receiver. His stuff does really well too. Here's another Herm Edwards. I thought this was his. I think this is his rookie card. So let me check on this one too. Yes, this is his rookie card. They don't sell real well, but still nice find. And you'll see later on I have a few of these in here, so that's kind of cool. Manny Ramirez, ESPN Upper Deck card. Manny has a following. And this is a modern card, but Gale Sayers stuff does extremely well. So this is from 2005, I think. But sort of a neat, random, modern, vintage-looking card in the stack. Grabbed a few of these. These are Edge First Place team checklists. Here's the Raiders. Just pretty cool-looking checklists. They're unmarked. Checklists, like I said, I always pull those out. Here's a 95 Ultra checklist. It's a 49ers First Place checklist. This is Pacific. I'm not sure what year this is. 91 maybe? 92? See if we can find a year. 92. Here's a Bears one from Victory, unmarked. That's pretty cool. This is a Steve DeBerg. I think this might be his rookie too, from Topps. He was a decent quarterback for the 49ers for a little while. Larry McCarron, well-known name here. He's been a sports reporter in Green Bay forever. This might be his rookie. I'm not going to look that one up, but I think that's his rookie card. Here's some more. Another checklist Falcons. That one's marked. A Sammy White. There's a pretty cool face on that one. So Vikings team leaders. You got Ahmad Rashad on there. It's a bigger name, but These year of Viking cards just do really well. Carl Eller. Here's another Ronnie Lott. Not a rookie card this time, but it's from his rookie season, I think. Dwight Clark. He's got a specific fan base as he has one of the most famous catches in Super Bowl history. Oh, I don't know why I grabbed this. Paul Kaufman is incidental. Ed Too Tall Jones. Sold some of his stuff. The Cowboys defensive end legend. There's another Randy White. Cliff Harris, All-Pro. Here's the receiving leaders. You got Kellen Winslow, who's in the Hall of Fame, and Dwight Clark. Another Super Bowl card. You've got, I believe that is, let's see. It's Branch from Plunkett. That's from Jim Plunkett. This is the quarterback there, so it's a nice card featuring Jim Plunkett. I don't know who this is. I just thought it was really interesting. This is a Jets J.J. Jones quarterback card. Don't know who this is. This might be a rookie for him too. It's not in great shape, but just thought it was interesting. Another Cowboys team leader. You got Mr. Dorsett on there. It's a Saints team checklist card. John Riggins. Got a couple of those here. Really nice shape. The Redskins. Good condition. Mark Murphy, again, kind of a legend around here. He ran the Packers organization for some years. A couple more Ron Jaworskis. Jim Hart, All-Pro quarterback. Got a bunch of those. Big quarterback names. I think football vintage is gonna be huge very soon. This is another Tony Dorsett, really nice card there. And then this is the last of the first stack. We got Charlie Waters. Appreciate you sticking with me through this video. Hope you're enjoying it. This is Joe Klecko. Sold a few of his cards. Defensive end for the Jets. He's in the Hall of Fame. Larry Zonka. Ken Anderson. You're seeing a lot of these repeat names, but that's not a bad thing. Here's a LeMaster. Another Jaworski. Zonka with the Giants. Just a little later in his career. There's a couple more Ron Jaworskis. Ed Too Tall Jones. Fred Dryer. So a bunch of his stuff. Tony Dorsett again with the team leaders. This one's cool. This is a Joe Montana in action. Really, really good shape. Early Montana stuff does well. This is from 82. And he was a rookie in 81, I believe. So, second year card. It's pretty cool. Archie Manning. Legend of the Manning family. Dad to Peyton and Eli. Here's another Herm Edwards. Super Action, Ron Jaworski. Randy White. Drew Pearson. Pretty much all these guys I've talked about already. There's Theismann, Riggins. Tom Dempsey, I've sold a bunch of his stuff. He's a kicker, but I don't know. For some reason, people like Tom Dempsey cards. Maybe there's a story behind that I don't know. You know, if you know, share in the comments. Dan Fouts, legendary quarterback. Ken Stabler. Pretty cool. It's a Raiders team card. You got Casper on there, Ted Hendricks. Lots of big Raiders fans. There's a Casper. Oops. Here's another Casper. Another Herm Edwards. Mick Tinglehoff. Can't have enough Mick Tinglehoffs. Here's Ron Yeri. Jim Hart. Got a few of these. quite a few of these. There's 5 of them there. Roger Wehrli. Here's our first Dan Deerdorf. Most people know him from broadcasting, but he was a very good player in his day. Harold Carmichael. Alright, and that's that first stack done. Now let's start with this one back here. We've got another Super Bowl card. This is the Raiders. Over the, so this would have been Ken Stabler's years. I'm not sure. Don't see any big name players really on the front, but that's okay. Here's another one, Raiders over Chargers. So this would be Jim Plunkett on the front there. His stuff sells well. There's the scoring leaders with Walter Payton. Receiving leader with Ahmad Rashad. Joe Klecko, sack leader. I don't know why I grabbed this one out. It's got Emmett Thomas and Nate Wright. So Robert Miller. Not the best-selling Viking of that year, but it's top-loaded, so that's why I pointed that out. Same here with the Steve Bono. Not an important card, but the top load is. This one's cool. This is my first OJ card. OJ is in there. Tony Green. This is the Bills team card from 78. Here's another OJ. 78. Running the ball there. His stuff. OJ stuff sells extremely well. Ron Yeri again. This is great. James Lofton rookie card. These sell really well. I just sold one, I think, for 15 or 20 the other day. This one's in pretty good shape. So Jack Ham. Leroy Selman. I don't know why I pulled that. Second year Lofton. Here's a Matuzak. 80 football. Unmarked checklist, but does have a crease. It's a Walter Payton record breaker. That dominant Cowboys over the Rams card with Staubach on there. This one I really like. Earl Campbell and Walter Payton. A couple of Hall of Famers on one card there. Fran Tarkenton. Bit of a crease on that one again, but it's okay. A couple more of these Cowboys championships with Staubach. Another Payton and Campbell. Another Staubach. James Lofton in action. This one's cool. 81 passing leader, Montana and Anderson. Got a little bit of a piece of... see, I think 82. So I think was 81 Montana's rookie year. I can't remember. All right, and then we've got Raiders over the Chargers again. So this would be Jim Plunkett on the front. Chris Collinsworth, rookie. Fran Tarkenton. Pretty cool card there. Larry Zonka with the Dolphins. David Boston, Air Force. Collector's Edge Fury insert. Pretty cool looking card. I think this is a rookie. He would have been with Ohio State, I believe. That's pretty cool. Same here. This is a Jake Plummer rookie starting lineup card. This Triumph insert needs to be cleaned up a little bit, but it's in pretty good shape otherwise. Dan Fouts and Roger Staubach, passing leaders. Chipper Jones. Here's another OJ rushing highlight. This one's in much better shape than the other one. Here's AFC Steelers. This one's got Terry Bradshaw and Rocky Blair, I believe, is on there. Oh no, that's not Terry Bradshaw. Rocky Blair running the ball, though. I think that's him. I don't think it's Franco Harris. I don't know, but either way. AFC Championship game. Here's another Walter Payton. Highlights. 77 highlights. Cards in nice shapes, top loaded. There's a couple of 77 tops, so second year Walter Payton's. Those will do well. Top loaded. Nice there. No sleeves, of course. So why would you do that? All right, let's keep going. I know there's a lot here, but I'm enjoying this. I hope you are as well. There's a Cal Ripken Jr. card. Kind of random. Piazza. This is a Topps, like a post serial or something, I think. It says 4 of 30 on the top there, but it's another Walter Payton rushing leader. Paul Krause. Eagles over the Cowboys. I think that's Jaworski. Is the quarterback there? Not exactly sure. Championship Vikings over Rams. So you see some purple people eaters on there. Tackling the Rams player. Here's another Super Bowl. This is the Montana's victory. Unfortunately, Montana's not on this card. But Munoz is, and he was quite a stud defensive player. Earl Campbell and Walter Payton again. Jim Marshall, running back, I think, for the Vikings. His stuff sells really well. Here's another OJ, 75 scoring leaders with Chuck Foreman, another big name. Broncos championship. I think that's Craig Morton, which does not sell. I believe that's who the quarterback is there. It's another Rams one. I think that's Pat Hayden. Len Dickey, Packer quarterback. Paul Krause, Steve Largent, Sammy White, Tommy Hart. Not a big name, but look at that nice miscut there. Miscut on the other side. That's awesome. That'll do well. Gary Fensick, rookie. Talked about him earlier. I've sold a few of his. Alan Page with the Bears. Franco Harris. Johnny Gray. Johnny Gray used to live about 5 doors down from me. And see him once in a while. He signed some stuff for me, so I pull Johnny Gray stuff. I think they're fun. Gene Upshaw. John Stallworth. Rocky Blyer. Larry McCarron again. We talked about him. Ted Hendricks. Jack Lambert. Jack Ham. His stuff sells well. Mick Tingelhoff. Ken Anderson. Richard Todd. I haven't talked about him, but I've sold a bunch of Richard Todd. He was a quarterback for the Jets. Here's some more Richard Todd. This one. A couple more of those. Another checklist. Patriots checklist. It's marked. Patriots checklist unmarked. In nice shape. Marked. Lyle Alzado. Pat McKinley. Again, of course, it's not a big name, but look at that awesome miscut there. Should be some good market there. Ken Anderson. Here's a Jack Ham. Len Dawson. Got a couple of those. This one's not so great. This one's okay. Big name quarterback there. So this one's pretty cool. This one you could see in the photo. It's this Jerome Bettis Prism rookie card. There's some damage down in that corner there, but I'll try to fix it up. Did come top loaded. These were pretty tough to pull, so I'm sure I can get a few bucks for that. All right, Dolphins unmarked. Dolphins unmarked. Does have like a tape stain on the top, but Oilers unmarked. Another Richard Todd. Jets marked. A few Larry Littles. Sold a few of his cards. I pulled those. Larry Zonka. Joe Klecko All-Pro. There's another OJ. Some 79 checklists. I think these are all marked, but still, and I don't have any 79 checklists, so that's still good. Marked. Here's a 77 unmarked. An 80 unmarked. 81 unmarked. I was really surprised to see all these checklists. I was happy about this. They probably thought they were getting rid of them, and I was like, I want those. 82 checklist, 82. These are all unmarked. There's a couple more. This is an couple of 81s. Pretty nice. Ted Hendricks. Matuzak. Klecko. Couple of Richard Todds. Here's another Klecko. Bills 77 marked. Jim Zorn record breaker. Not a big name, but Charlie Taylor sold quite a few of his cards. That's an early one, 76. This one's really cool. Passing leaders with Greasy and Staubach on it. It's an O.J. Simpson record breaker. O.J. stuff sells insanely well. Here's a Dorsett Cowboys team. Pat Hayden. It's a nice O.J. base card. I like that. Chuck Foreman. Ken Stabler, later years. Roger Warely. Ron Yeri. Pat Hayden. Couple of Jack Youngbloods. Fred Dreyer. A couple of Mel Gray. This isn't like all instant flip type stuff by any means. Jim Hart. When you're paying less than a penny, they can sit around. It's not going to matter. Mel Gray. All right, here's Fred Dean. Kellen Winslow. Dan Fouts. Fensick. Lions unmarked. Ahmad Rashad. Sammy White. Chris Collinsworth rookie. L.C. Greenwood. Johnny Gray and Larry McCarron, hometown heroes there. Browns marked. Lem Barney. Sold a few of his cards. Walter Payton, record breaker. Ron Yeri. Here's another Johnny Gray. One of these Johnny Grays is a rookie. I can't remember which one it is, though. I might have passed it already. Chuck Foreman. Jim Marshall. Oh, he was a defensive end. I thought he was a running back. Whatever. Walter Payton, team leaders. Let's see, these are 78 tops, all unmarked. How cool is this for checklists? Here's a 82, couple of 82s unmarked, a 75 unmarked. That one will go quick, not in perfect shape, but 79 unmarked. Doug Williams, sold quite a few of his cards. Peyton and Campbell. Steelers over the Rams in the Super Bowl. 79 marked. 70, couple 78s unmarked. Another 79 unmarked. 80 unmarked. Couple more 79s unmarked. Jack Lambert. Oilers team card. You got Earl Campbell there. Alvin Bethea too. I've sold quite a few Alvin Bethea cards. It's another Peyton record breaker. Lem Barney. Johnny. I think this is the rookie. Johnny Gray. Right there. Archie Manning. Another James Lofton rookie card, which was packed with another card. Kind of interesting, but like I said, I've gotten good money for those Lofton cards. Earl Campbell, another Walter Payton team card. So Lynn Dickey. A UD Choice, Ken Griffey Jr., random. An A-Rod StarQuest, just the single again. It's a Jack Ham. Fran Tarkington record breaker. I've sold this exact card a bunch of times. Joey Galloway starting lineup rookie. Todd Kelly special effects tops. Sold a bunch of those 94 tops special effects cards before. I kind of slide the pile here a little bit. Terrell Owens. Here's another Terrell Owens. A 99 Pacific Steve Young. This one I'm really excited about. This goes to the PC. This is a sticker card from some kind of stamp, I believe. Supposed to get the autograph on there. It would be sweet if it was autographed, but place sticker or stamper image below. So that one is super cool to me. Yeah, that's staying with me. This starting lineup in his college uniform. Love that. That one I'm going to keep too. Here's a Reggie White, 93 Topps. Staubach. This Badger hockey player. Don't know who he is, but it is top loaded, so we'll use the top load anyway. This one's cool. Staubach and Terry Bradshaw. A couple of these Lithocell cards, which one is Lawrence Phillips, the other is Eddie Kennison, so neither of them are really any good for players, but I know people who love those Lithocell cards. Here's a Elway, a 90 Fleer Elway. This is Michael Jackson Edge Masters, but it is numbered out of 3,000. A couple of Jamal Lewis rookies. He was a running back for the Ravens. Pretty good running back. It's another one of those Sporting News celebrating old-timey players. We got Lefty Grove there. So we got another special effects. This is Willie Flip Anderson. This is really cool. Terrible shape, but 1991 starting lineup Michael Jordan. I'm not sure what's going on the back here. If somebody tried to sign it to pass it off as a Jordan auto, I'm not sure, but still cool. 91 starting lineup Jordan. There's a bunch of starting lineup cards in here. Here's Terrell Davis starting lineup. Terrell Davis in his Bulldogs uniform. Thought this Torrey Holt was cool. I was a big Torrey Holt fan back in the day. Some kind of Topps Vintage, Topps Heritage, I don't know. It's cool. Sam Adams, I think this card has value. And it's sticking out in my head that he was a rookie, obviously, in 94, but I believe he's in the Hall of Fame, and this was his only rookie card. I'll do a little research on that and get back to you. Here's an Amon Green rookie card, Packers legend. First place rookie in 98, so it's pretty cool. Here's another record breaker Peyton in a top load. Jeff Simon, I don't think he matters at all, but for some reason it's in a top load, so I set it aside. This one I thought was pretty interesting. This is a how to locate a baseball card store in your area back in the day. So you got Pedro, Ichiro, Sammy Sosa, Randy Johnson, Mike Piazza, Derek Jeter. And this was MLB.com. I'm not sure who this was printed by. I thought it was Topps, but now that I'm looking at it, I don't see a Topps logo. So call 1-877-CARD-MLB. Oh, that was really cool. I've never seen that before. I'll have to look that up. John Hannah and Gail Gillingham. I'm not sure why I set that one aside either. John Hannah was quite a player. Here's that Super Bowl again, Raiders over Vikings. And then another one of those 81 passing leader, Montana and Anderson. Early Montana stuff is gold, so that's nice. All right. I think as football ages and the legends grow and it's more of America's sport now than baseball, many consider it. I think there's good reason to if I want to buy into it. So these are all, I'm not going to go through all of these, but these are all the Fleer. So this is 1980. These are the Fleer Team Action cards. They're pretty hard to get a hold of. I don't think they printed very many of them. A lot of them are kind of smashed up. This is a set out of 70 cards. This year is 81, I think. 79. This is 79. This is a set out of 69 different cards. I think this was later. Yeah, this is 1981. The band out there. It's pretty cool. The national anthem. So lots of 81 here. These are all 81. 81's not the best of the years. Robert Brazil. I don't know why he's in there. Set him aside. This one is it's got the Super Bowl on there, so you got Jim Plunkett handing the ball off. So there's the Super Bowl highlighted cards in here too, which sell pretty well. There's another Kellen Winslow. That's a nice card. Apparently I stuck some regular cards in here too, so I'll have to go through these. Here's some more. These earlier years, this is 1980. The ones from the 70s do a little better. New York Giants piled up. And again, same thing, if you can find, you know, cards with big name players on them, those do the best. Like here you got, I believe that is Jim Hart as the quarterback on there. But you got a lot of these feature the Super Bowl winners. The Giants. Yeah, that one's cool. The Packers in the background there, practicing. Chargers. That's Franco Harris, I believe, in the Super Bowl. Pittsburgh beat Minnesota. So that stuff just does really well. Here's some Purple People Eater stuff. Purple Avalanche. Warm-ups. Look at those coats. Probably, yeah, they had like some space heater things there, but they probably didn't have. I mean, everybody played outside back in the day, so Game of Inches. This one's really cool. Playing in the mud. Just, you know, these are all stills from a different time in the game, so I can see why there's definitely some collectors for this. Here's a really cool Super Bowl one. You got Tony Dorsett there, running the ball. Yeah, these are amazing. Look at this steel curtain card featuring the steel curtain. That's pretty cool. New York Jets, JETS. Here's another Super Bowl one, Miami and Washington. Don Shula was the coach. So, yeah, these are amazing. And like I said, they do really well. Here's another Cowboys one. Ooh, a fumble. You got a fumble there. 49ers. So, yeah, I have to go back through and look for certain players. Is that OJ? That might be OJ. Was OJ with San Francisco at that time? I don't know. But yeah, so a nice giant stack of those at a couple bucks a piece. Those will do really well too. So let me know what you think of this. I think it was a pretty good lot for $3.25. You know, I'd have paid more than that probably for these two cards for my Favre collection. So it's nice to get a little PC action out of it as well. But anyway, thanks so much for sticking around and watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'd love to hear from you, so leave some comments. And if you're not subscribed to the channel and you like this